Welcome to American Honey and this episode of Honey Bear's Kitchen. Together, we will learn to cook. Welcome to Honey Bear's Kitchen. I'm Honey Bear, and I'm happy that you can be here. To give you a window into my world, this is the first time in like 9 or 10 years that both of my children are school aged and I have time by myself in the mornings. I work in the afternoons. I will be cooking the family dinners in the mornings, and I thought I'd invite you along to the ride. This is going to be real people for real food. I said that wrong. This is going to be real food for real people. It's okay to eat fancy sometimes and to cook elaborate meals, but most people need simple most of the time. So we're going to do sloppy joes today. Sometimes sloppy joes taste dry even when they're not dry. I'm going to show you an awesome sloppy joe recipe that is just sloppy. They got to be sloppy, but not greasy. They got to be sweet and tangy. So this is a recipe I think my wife just made up, and it's a family favorite of ours. It's just a real easy, quick go-to meal. So the most important part about sloppy joes is the sloppy, the sauce. I am a sauce is the boss kind of guy all day long. This is very important to me. So this is all you need. It's so simple. We said that sloppy joes need to be sloppy, they need to be sweet, they need to be tangy. Ketchup makes it sloppy, brown sugar makes it sweet, mustard and garlic powder make it tangy. So it's so simple to mix up. Let me show you how it's done. So I have this mixing bowl that's already marked with cups. So we're going to put 1.5 cups of ketchup. Gotta kind of shake it for the line. And like I said, I am a sauce is the boss kind of guy. So if you get a little extra sauce, no harm, no foul. Don't tell my wife I said that. 2 tablespoons of mustard. It doesn't all come out of the little spoon, so I usually pile it higher. I don't know if they make spatulas that small, but I don't have one. All right. So 1 teaspoon garlic powder. So 1/3 cup brown sugar. When you're putting brown sugar into a measuring cup, you pack it tight. There's other things you don't do that. Like when you're using flour, you don't pack it. You just like kind of scrape it off the top. Brown sugar, you want to pack it tight. So 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and then you just mix it together. So that's the sauce. It's so simple. Let's head over to the stove and we'll take you the rest of the way there. Okay, so before we start working on the ground beef, we have to dice up a green pepper and an onion. It's not rocket science. Usually when I'm doing the green pepper, I cut the top off like this. Pull out the insides. Boop. Peel out like the extras. And you can still eat this top ring, you just have to pull out the stem. All right, so dice it up. Onion, it's also a pretty basic thing. Cut the ends off of it. I usually kind of like make a slit around, and then I peel off the skin, but then I peel off the next layer too. So, and you just dice it up. All right, so here's where we start putting it together. Before we add the sauce, we've got to add the ground beef. And before we brown the ground beef, remember we have to salt it. That's the rules. When you're doing a recipe that has onions and peppers and you're browning the ground beef, that's when you cook them. So we're going to put the onions and the peppers in with the ground beef. mix all of that together. Got the skillet on medium heat. And remember, we just brown the beef until all the pink is gone. So once the ground beef is fully brown, we're going to take it off the heat and drain it. Because remember, while we want juice and sauce in the sloppy joes, we want them to be sloppy but not greasy sloppy. There's a lot of extra juice because the onions and the peppers make some juice. And I'll tell you what, even if the onions and the peppers aren't fully cooked yet, if they're a little crunchy, we're going to cook it more once we get the sauce in there. First, we got to drain this juice. So we drained the beef, and then you add the sauce, and it simmers. This is my favorite part. This is spatula. I'm going to get every last drop of that precious sauce out of the bowl. And again, Honeybee would see me doing this, and she'd be like, oh, just put the bowl in the sink. I'm like, oh, I want all the sauce. All right, so once it's all mixed together, turn the heat back on. Once you can hear the sizzle start, turn it down to simmer, and just leave it go for 20 minutes. You can stir it occasionally, and we'll come back and revisit. I'm gonna run some dishes through. We'll be back in a little bit. 20 minutes later, I'm not gonna lie, this smells awesome. Let me get it on a plate for you. We'll take a bite. So you know how they say the simple things in life make it sweet. I'll tell you what's gonna make my life sweet in just a minute here. It's this. Look how savory and delicious that looks. Paired with some icy cold cucumbers. Oh, this is gonna be great. I hope you feel like you could make this for your family. It really is simple, easy peasy. I wanna take a bite.